Our Value of Advice ebook and podcast series is proudly sponsored by MediHelp.
Hi, this is Tony, and I'm still busy with that series with the FBI Financial Planners of the Year. And this is Craig Kiggen from the Consolidated Wealth Group. Craig, thank you very much for your time on a Friday.
Thank you, Tony. It's lovely to be engaging with you and your audience again.
Okay, great stuff. We're chatting a little bit with the different planners about the winners of the Financial Planning of the Year, just to sort of share some thoughts and some wisdom, some experiences and so on, to encourage people, to provide them with some guidance and that sort of thing. So maybe to start off with, your elevator pitch as to who you are and who Consolidated Wealth is.
Tony, very briefly, my name's Craig, as you've introduced me already. I'm somebody who assists clients to sleep well at night. Consolidated is a cradle-to-grave solution for our clients, where we give them peace of mind that their finances are secure and that they're able to it that they've set with the navigation that Consolidated helps them with.
Very good. That sort of is a nice nutshell there. So your journey since you became Financial Planner of the Year, what has changed? If you sort of reflect before and after?
I think, Tony, my journey has taken a bit more of a commercial route, in that the business of financial planning has become a larger part of my world. So as a financial planner, the skill sets that you require to be a certified financial planner, and to get through all of those qualifications is largely what it takes to win the competition. I think what the Consolidated Group, from an exposure perspective, and we had quite a lot of growth that happened in the business, and my journey morphed slightly into more the commercial and the leadership of the organization. So what it also did was it gave me global exposure. So I'm for some of my sins, I've been a global board member for a global leadership organization called YPO. And we've got 36,000 members worldwide, and I've been one of 18 people that have been running that organization worldwide for the last 4 years. So the journey as a planner gave me the confidence to be able to step into these larger leadership roles. And the beauty of that is that it's given me the confidence to be able to continue to develop the leadership and the mentorship of junior financial planners in our organization. So we spend a lot of time trying to develop the next tier of financial service experts in the South African market, and that's where my journey has gone. I still see clients. I see a smaller pool of clients, larger assets, but the beauty of it is that I walk away from, when I reflect on my journey over the last little while, and I love the part that we've developed people. And when I think about where a lot of these people are nowadays, some leading financial services business, some's in asset managers, some actual physical asset managers. So it's a beautiful journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to ask you that question about, the good things in your life at work, but we'll get to that one that you sort of alluded to now. If you look at the industry over the last sort of 2 decades, what do you see as the most important trend in terms of what has changed and what is the most exciting for you?
Tony, I think that what's changed is that it's a lot more difficult to actually do business. I think that the legislation has made it harder for younger people to actually launch in this business. So when the flip side of that, I love the opportunity that the legislation presents to Consolidated, because you've got good, bright young minds from a variety of backgrounds looking to make a difference in other people's lives. And I think what excites me is that businesses like ours, and there are a number of great businesses, financial planning businesses in this country, that are creating opportunities for that next tier. So I'm very excited about the future. I'm looking at the quality of the graduates that we're interviewing that are coming into our graduate program, and it's just so exciting. So I love that. I think from a product perspective, there's from a consumer's perspective, what I'm really excited about is that there it's becoming a lot more competitive from a costing perspective, and we are seeing that consumers are just getting much better deals with much greater outcomes. So technology is moving rapidly, and we've been very fortunate that we've got some good tech people in our business who really are thinking about technology into the future. And often it's expensive for us to get it up and running, but what excites me is that we're able to transfer it down to the consumer ultimately. So we're just seeing a rapid reduction of cost to consumer, and we're very excited about that as part of the journey. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, and I think that sentiment that it's a tough place to do business in, and that's sort of a par for the course with just about anything you try to do in terms of business. But when you look at the challenges that are faced, obviously there are opportunities in that for financial advisors, because people have to manage what they've got very carefully. They have to understand how money works and how they could sort of optimize the managing of their money, etc. How would you advise financial advisors to make the most of those opportunities?
Yeah, it's a complicated question, and it's a great question. We've just come out of a very detailed budgeting, just from a commercial perspective. So, and the problem with our industry is that it's expensive. And it's expensive to run a financial planning business. If you're going to do it properly, you think about the AML screening, you think about document storage, CRMs, ERPs. They drive me crazy, but everything has got a cost associated with it, and security. So my counsel to financial planners who are looking to go out and form their own business is that they need to think carefully around the value of being in a one-man band, if I can call it that. And I mean no disrespect to the one-man band, because actually it's probably the most satisfying space to be, because there's a direct correlation between effort and reward. But it's expensive, and that's why we are seeing this sort of amalgamation of businesses coming together so that they can navigate those costs. My counsel to those people in those early stages of their businesses are that they've got to watch their cash flow. Because even if they're not great business people, watching cash flow in our environment is very, very important. My observation is that financial planners or a lot of financial planners don't necessarily watch their own cash flow well, and they live slightly beyond where they should be, which means when you have tough times, like, for example, the COVID environment, they didn't really have the cash flow to be able to sustain themselves. So the fixed costs associated with running this business is very expensive. And when you start getting some scale, it becomes even more expensive to do. So my counsel is be careful with your cash. And don't shy away from forming groups or joining businesses like a Consolidated. And like I say, I use us as an example. But there are a number of good businesses out there where you don't lose your independence, and you're actually able to do the job that you love.
Yeah, and how do you decide where you're going to go? How do you evaluate whether there will be a fit for yourself? What is it that you should look for?
It's a great question. Probably the most important one when people think about these things. And I counsel people that join our business, and we've had 9 different transactions that we've done over the last 3.5, 4 years now. That the most important part is that you actually have to like the people that you're working with, and you mustn't rush these transactions. You actually really do need to get to know the people that you're working with. And the people that they are going to join need to have a demonstrable track record of delivering on what they say they're going to do. There was a speaker at the FBI conference who spoke about valuations, and he was really, really on point, because he had sort of models that on the one end, you go into a big corporate who, when you join them, you will do what they tell you to do. And then it sort of works its way down into joining a group of people who are aligned with how you think, and aligned with how you think about money and the staff. And there's always going to be a rub, but you've got to think about those things carefully. And you've also got to believe that the people you're joining are going to do what they say they were going to do. And for us, that's been a big drive from our organization, because that's a critical aspect.
What role does profit motivation play because, in some way we have an altruistic mission, helping people and ensuring people's finances work out, etc. And how do you marry that with, as you said, it's expensive to do business?
So Tony, how do you know when someone has got an MBA?
Oh, they tell you.
They tell you. Okay. So for my MBA for my thesis, when I did my MBA, I wrote my master's dissertation on motivation. And your point's exactly key to the findings that we had. That people come into this industry because they want to help people. They also want to make money, but they want to be helpful. So there are two sides to where we are. I think the first one is that people ultimately want to help, and then they want to pay the bills. Now, when you're joining the corporates that have got external shareholders, if you look from a shareholder perspective, often a shareholder who is detached, like a listed entity, they want a maximum. So the people running the business are working for the drive of of return for shareholders. I think we're a business like Consolidated size, where we have a much smaller group of shareholders. All of us are operational in the organization. And what we try to do is make sure that everybody is fairly remunerated. It's not a secret. We have a stated profit margin of the group. We've got the strategy, and our stated profit margin is 25%. And we want to be at a 25% profit margin so that we can be sustainable into the future. And that's a values issue. So we don't believe that we ever want to run a business that has a 50 or 60 or 70% profit margin, which is possible in a business. So I think when people join a business and they are worried about the profit margin or the profit incentive, they need to have the conversation, and they need to be just blunt with the individuals and say, what is your views on profit? Are you a super profit organization? And if you are a super profit organization, why are you that? So our view, somewhere between 25 and 30% as a profit margin, we believe is our top end. And then we start saying, okay, if we are beyond that, we're doing one of two things, in our opinion, wrong. One, we're either not paying our team appropriately, or B, the consumer's paying for more than they should be paying. And then we would be passing fees back down to clients. So
yeah, because you sort of want to measure the value to what you feel the value is that you are adding, and what that is worth providing. No, absolutely. Very wise words.
Sorry. So I'll tell you the other thing where people get caught in this industry, and Tony, as you know, over the years we've done a number of transactions in our organization, is that the profit margin is often a factor of the exit point or the exit price or the valuation, pick a term. And I think that people who are looking to join businesses like a Consolidated, the question they need to ask is, what's your end game? And that's an important question. So, if we are trying to create a business that is sustainable for generations to come, that's not a business that's looking to exit. That's not shareholders who are looking to exit. They're looking to provide transfer to next generations. Those shareholders have had to accept that they are not going to be billionaires. They're not going to be the people who are driving Ferraris around. And that's an important point. So, when you talk about values and connection from a value proposition perspective, those are the kind of things that people need to be having, in our experience, to have confidence to join a group for the long term.
Yeah, no, it sounds like people should be looking to joining your group. I like what you're saying. Yeah. Greg, thanks so much. I mean, that was really great chatting to you. And thank you for sharing some of those thoughts and so on. And I hope if guys feel free, they can make contact with you and chat to you about these sort of things.
Lovely. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it.
Great. Thanks so much. And I hope you have a good weekend.
And to you and to all the listeners, I trust that you all are blessed and have a great time.
We are certainly blessed. Thank you so much.